Crush it. That's what you should do in college. You should crush it. You should study hard and you should crush it. And if you want to go down that path and be, this stuff doesn't matter, this isn't important compared to what I've done, so I'm going to blow it off, that's a path you can go down if you want to. I don't recommend it. What I recommend you doing is straight up crushing college. That's what I recommend you doing. How do you do that? If you make that decision that you want to crush it, if you want to make the decision that you're going to prove to people that, you know what, yeah, I'm coming back and your little games that you're playing, I'm going to beat you in your own games. So how do you do that? Number one, do the reading that you get assigned, do the assignments that you get tasked with, do everything. Let that be your new job. These silly little games that they're playing, let that be your job. Just like I was talking about OCS. When I went to OCS, I made that like a game for me that I was going to win. So do that with college. And then on top of that, make it a game, yes, but then on top of that, as a deeper commander's intent, make it that you're going to not just do well there as a game, but you're going to do well so you can get smarter. So you can really actually learn information that's going to make you a better person and give you better ability to dominate in the world. That's what you should be doing in college. Now, these kids that you're going to be going to college with, they're not going to have this attitude. They're going to be, hey, what do I need to do to get by? What's Sally doing tonight? I'm more concerned about that than I am about going out, dominating this course so that I can get an A, so that I have knowledge. So don't just do it as a game. You got to play the game a little bit. I mean, you got to get, for me, I get the game mentality going, but the game mentality is rooted in something deeper. And what it's rooted in is gaining knowledge to be smarter and better as a human. Now, a couple things about college and the actual tactics, techniques, and procedures to dominate. Number one, college is all about time management. Getting ahead of the curve, because it's so easy. That's what happens with kids in college. That's why they don't do well, because for the first time, there's no one tracking them. No one's imposing discipline on them. You have to have, in order to do well in college, you have to have self-discipline, because no one's going to tell you to start that paper that's due in 6 weeks. No one's going to tell you to start it tomorrow. You can just blow it off. You can blow it off for 5.5 weeks, and then you've got to write a 30-page paper in 2 days, and it's not going to be quality.
Yep. No one's going to ask you, have you done your homework before dinner?
That's right.
Like,
so you need to get the time management going. You need to get a disciplined time management schedule. You need to get ahead of the curve as early as possible, right? When a paper's due, a 30-page paper, you need to write it in chunks. It makes it so easy. I mean, it was a joke. When I was going to college, I would have my papers completely done like a week out. Like a week out, I would be done with a 30-page paper. Yeah. And then I would just be reviewing it and getting it all completely dialed, and I'd turn it in 2 days early and then move on to the next. Same thing with studying. You don't want to study. You do want to study hard right before the day of the test, but you want to have knowledge already absorbed in there. So you want to study leading up to that. When you do reading that I talked about, highlight. Pick out the highlighters. That's what I do in all these books that we're hammering through right now. I always send out pictures of them. They're all highlighted and marked up. That's how I'm getting the good information out of them. So highlight, and then another little trick is to make the flashcards. I used to highlight, and then I would make flashcards about what I highlighted. Turn everything into a question. And then you go through the flashcards, and you're gonna memorize stuff.